only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and today is New Year's Eve. But that's not all today is. Today is Team Fight Tuesday. That's right. New video series that I've been very excited to debut. I get requests to test teams out on Facebook about once a day, if not once an hour. So I thought it might be interesting to do a weekly video series where I take somebody's team, I throw them up against the meta teams of my server, of your server, of that other person's server, and we see how they fare, how the team does, how the lab work plays out. But if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I do Hero Wars videos based on the mobile game and the Facebook game. And please consider subscribing if you find my my content here informational, or at least slightly entertaining at all. So what we're going to do, like I mentioned earlier, is we're going to take a team, and for this inaugural edition, this first edition, we're going to use my Bob team just to kind of kick it off, and we're going to put them up against a lot of meta teams and see how they fare. Discuss the fight after the fact, break it down a little bit, and I want to go ahead and state right now that every team in this game is beatable. Easily beatable with a little bit of tweaking. And yes, I know that there are teams that are built specifically to take down Kark teams. And while those are effective teams, those aren't what is considered the quote-unquote meta teams. And also, you might disagree with some of the teams that I have chosen here as my quote-unquote meta teams to go up against. So leave me a comment down below if there's a different meta team that you think would be a more effective Twins variant or more effective Satori variant. I know that Facebook and mobile is also slightly different, so please bear that in mind as you're watching this video as well. I just hope that this is a little entertaining. So with that being said, let's get into the first fight. And that fight is going to be a Twins team using Ziri as the tank. We're going to go with classic Jorgen in the middle, even though it's definitely possible that Nebula is a better choice here. And then, of course, Martha on the backside. How are you guys getting? How are you guys faring with Martha's winter skin? I hope you guys have had good luck getting it. I actually just got it yesterday. Very excited about that. So, as you can see here, I'm having trouble doing enough damage to this team, and it's because of Ziri's most recent armor skin. She's able to tank a lot, and once this team gets going, Martha is able to heal extremely well. She's very, very potent. Very, very potent. So I'm not able to beat this team in the 2-minute allotment. I think it has to do with a combination of what I mentioned previously. The damage dealt just isn't that good. It just isn't that good. I didn't put on enough damage, even though Kark did 3.3 million damage. I wasn't able to stop it. So let's change this up a little bit. We're gonna go with a different variant, and this is why I actually level up Kai. And Kai, instead of Nebula, right, will provide just enough damage, and Kai also has a little bit of good magic defense. That it makes this a beatable fight. So just tweaking that one hero, popping out Nebula for Kai, and this is why I keep Kai leveled up. Now this is probably RNG, because you don't always lift the opponents if they're the same level or higher. But you can see here that I have a much better time defeating this team. I think I end up with like 35 or something seconds. So the damage output is pretty good. You can see that not only does Kark do a little bit, about 1 million less damage, that's made up for by Kai, but his continual knockup, and then Faceless actually performed a little bit better without Nebula, which is very interesting, very interesting. So that's why I keep Kai handy just for those kind of fights. Next, we're gonna go with a what am I doing here? I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. We're going to do a Satori team. I'm sorry, a Galahad team. Sorry, I had to look at my notes just to keep on track here. So we're going to do the Galahad. Wait, what are we doing here? Oh, sorry. Yes. Ugh. Wow. Sorry, guys. Galahad Twins Nebula. Wow. So this is a pretty meta team on my server. Galahad Twins, Nebula, and Martha. And I think it's a pretty strong team because of Galahad's just overall high level of stats. Once you get him all completely leveled up, he's great on offense. And for some reason I struggle with Galahad teams. I'm not sure why. Specifically, the Bob teams struggle with that, but usually I sub in Jorgen for these teams. But in this instance, Jorgen does really well against heroes that tend to ultimate a lot, and Galahad ultimates a lot. And then let's get this back going here. You can see what I did instead was, I wanted to try Kai again just to see if I needed to level up another hero or what the situation was. So I go back to my standard Astaroth, Kark, Faceless, Martha, but I remove Nebula for Kai. And as you can see, I do much better this time around. A little pop in from Dan Buccini. I do take some hits, but I'm able to easily dispatch this team. So just with the addition of Kai, and you might think that Kai is a better overall hero to have in your team other than Nebula, and in some instances he absolutely is. If you want to use Nebula in another team, go ahead. In fact, you could probably pull out Martha and use Jorgen or Helios in there, as a mixture of Nebula, Martha, Kai, Helios. A lot of good opportunities there. So next, we're going to take a look at the Satori team, probably the quote unquote most common Satori team, and I think this has a lot to do with Tim's spreadsheet. He has this Maya team. I have zero experience with Maya. I know I've said that a few times in a couple of my videos, but I've got no experience. So I'm going to pop in my standard Bob team here, and this is actually why I initially went with a Bob team instead of a Satori or a Twins team, is because of these 3 or 4 first fights that I'm showing you here. My Kark does go down, but I'm able to quickly dispatch the opponent's team pretty quick, and a lot more damage from Kark. I don't have anybody on my team that is that gains extra energy from from an ability or a shield. No Jorgen, no Orion, no Anvari. So because of that, I've got nothing for Satori to really latch onto, and really this team just blows that team up. So again, you can see the power of the Bob team. It's a very strong overall team. That's why I use it. So okay, on to the next team. This is we're gonna try some of the other meta teams. This is your other mage team that's kind of popular. Aside from the Twins team, that's the Orion, Dorian, Helios. One of my subscribers actually suggested this team to me, and I did a bunch of tests on the live stream, and this is a very, very strong team. Unfortunately, again, it doesn't really hold up to Bob. The power of those massive knockups, and Kark is just overall a good hero. He's just overall a good hero. And for whatever reason, Faceless stepped in and did a ton of damage. You can see that, Kark did his, regular 3 million damage. And the other team, I think, is just too squishy. I think that backhand is just too squishy. Kark hits hits 3 enemies with the lowest health. So, they're just too squishy. They're just really squishy. And then I wanted to try out some of these new Sebastian teams. First, I wanted to try out this Kira team that Dan had suggested to me. You need Jet in order to make Kira work on a Sebastian crit hit team. And I thought that this team was going to blow my team up. I thought it was going to destroy my Bob team, and I was going to have to swap out my my Nebula or my Martha for Helios. Because as you guys may or may not know, Helios has got some fantastic anti-Sebastian abilities. And this being a physical team overall, I have a little bit of an issue with physical teams with some Ginger, and I mentioned Galahad teams earlier. I thought that this would be a problem, but it's not. And you can see that I did even less damage with my Kark. Even less damage, but it was enough. And I think it's because there's not a true healer on that other team. There's just not a true healer, so there's no chance for them to recover after the first wave of tentacle smashes. And then finally, I wanted to try out a Jew Sebastian team. So, I did Astaroth, Jew, Nebula, Sebastian, Martha. I think this is a very strong Sebastian team. But again, unfortunately, just does not stand up to my Bob team. Yeah, so you can see it's over pretty quick. It lasts a little longer than the Kira team. That's because Jew and Martha are extremely tanky. And you can see I did a lot more. My Kark had to do a lot more damage, almost 4 million damage, but just couldn't stand up to it. So with that being said, I want to know what you guys think about this video series. Is it something that you would like me to do weekly? I will continue to do the which heroes to level series for each hero of the month. And I think it'd be prudent to do, a team fight video for those heroes as well. But see, this video is more of a combat testing video where I show off, the stats and how the fights go. Whereas the, which heroes to level videos are more like, which heroes to put into a team with that hero, if that makes sense. Not based on the fights so much, but like just synergy, just off the cuff. And I'm not sure if you guys like this or if you hate it or or whatever. I want to try it for a couple of weeks and see how it goes. But please, if you found this video very helpful, feather that like button. I know everybody says to smash the like button. I want you guys to caress that like button. Just gently caress it ever so softly. Wow, this went real dark real quick. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up here. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Again, New Year's Eve here in the United States. Please be safe. Do not drink and drive. Call a cab, call an Uber, whatever you got to do. Just get home safe. But with all that being said, I will see you all next year.